Hello, welcome to my channel Finance with CA Manish Gupta. So today we are going to talk about the most buzzing scheme launched by MCA in consultation with central government, that is Companies Compliance Facilitation Scheme 2026. So what is this scheme all about? Whether you can also avail this scheme? Yes, if you are a company, you can definitely avail this scheme. Let's find out in this video. So MCA last month has notified the scheme that is named as Corporate Compliance Facilitation Scheme 2026, where they have given a one-time opportunity for the people who have not filed their annual returns on MCA during the last few years. And the best part is they can file their annual returns with lesser penalties, that is 10% of the penalty amount. So the next question here comes is why this scheme has been introduced. So the answer here is the lot of startup founders and directors are struggling with the hefty penalties even if the form is delayed by a single day, that is 100 rupees per day. And there is two forms that is usually filed by the companies, that is AOC 4 and MGT 7. So in order to give them a relief, the government has introduced a one-time window of 90 days, that is from 15th April 2026 to 15th July 2026. So what is going to happen between this window? So the people or the directors who have not filed the annual return of their companies, they can file their annual returns with 10% of the penalty. So in case penalty amount is coming to be 20,000, they can settle this amount with 2,000 only under this scheme. So what are the forms this scheme is specifically talking about? This scheme is basically talking about three type of forms, that is AOC 4, MGT 7 and ADT 1. So what is AOC 4? AOC 4 is basically filed where the details of the financial figures is provided along with the auditor's comment. Whereas MGT 7 is basically a detail of the shareholding pattern, what are the share composition, board composition. There are a lot of other things which needs to be reported in these forms. I just given you the very snapshot of what all is required to be reported in these forms. Along with there is one form, that is ADT 1, appointment of auditors, which needs to be filed. Another question come here is whether there is an exclusion to this term companies under this scheme. Yes, there is an exclusion, that is LLP. For LLP, this scheme is not applicable. So in case LLP has not, for LLPs there is some forms which is skipped filing, then there is a normal penalty of 100 rupees per day for that particular annual compliance form. You cannot avoid those penalty in case of LLP. Another question come here is whether the company which already been striked off by MCA file their form and become active. The answer is no. There are some exclusion to this scheme, that is the companies which already been striked off by MCA, they cannot file the form with the less penalty and get their company active. Along with that, in case you have already voluntarily made an application for filing of strike off, then also you cannot go with this scheme. So few people asking why to go with this scheme. So if you have previously pending annual returns, then you must go with this scheme, because whenever you are going to raise funds, the investor is going to check and find whether the company is being compliant. All the due diligence is going to be happen with your company, and if they find the company is not compliant with the previous year details, they can also reject whatever been decided for the initial capital infusion. So in order to comply with all the provisions of Companies Act and avoid any future mishap, then you must go with this scheme. Thank you, friends.